Yeah, Dr. Sundar garu, you can take over from here.
Yes, yes. So like again, my audio is clear.
Yes.
You can just type it in your chat window. My audio is clear.
Yes, sir.
If you want me to speak much louder, I can speak much louder also. Yeah, great. So today we will speak about affection, care, and guidance. Yesterday, Sumanji spoke about trust and respect. So we are continuing the 9 feelings, and today we'll speak about affection, care, and guidance. First, we need to understand that a relationship is between two selves. I have a body and a self. The other person is also having a body and a self. So the relationship is not between the bodies, but actually the real relationship is between the self of one person and the self of another person. So this relationship comprises of several feelings. So we have identified 9 such feelings, which are very, very important. And as you know, these feelings can be identified, this can be recognized, and we can see what is happening within us regarding these feelings. So we are discussing about these feelings. And yesterday, Suman Garu has explained in detail about these feelings. And the first feeling is trust. So, like, I can ask you a question like, have you ever committed a mistake? Did you do, no, maybe by mistake you hurt someone, or, did a wrong thing? Huh. Yes. So, yeah, everyone says yes. So, like, was it intentional? Were you trying to hurt the other person or commit the mistake intentionally? Was it intentional? Mukesh, Sheetal ji, ha. So we have committed mistakes, but they were not intentional because we know what's happening inside our mind. We were not actually planning to hurt other person or commit a mistake and make the other person unhappy. But because of lack of ability or lack of competence, we did many mistakes. So the other person is also like me. He or she is not committing mistakes intentionally. So when we have a feeling that the other person's intention is always right, always good, so the feeling which we get inside us is trust. So we need to understand that the other person also wants to make me happy, just like I always want to make the other person happy. So you can make a list of people on whom you have trust, that the other person is having a feeling inside that he wants to make you happy, and you know that. So you have trust on that particular person. So if you can make a list of all the people who are thinking that they want to make you happy, and you know that, so that is the list of people whom you trust. And also you can make another list where those people have trust on you. They are thinking that you are making them happy. So if you make both the list, like people on whom you have trust and people who have trust upon you, and if the list is full, then you are the richest person in the world. If the list is empty, even if you have crores of money in your bank, you are not so rich. So let us explore more about this. So this is the first feeling yesterday Sumanji told us. The second one is again respect. So respect is actually सम्मान, सही तरह से मानना, मापना, सही तरह से मूल्यांकन करना. So evaluating a person on the basis of his or herself. So this is very important. Evaluating a person on the basis of his or herself. When you evaluate on the basis of the self, you can clearly see that the other person wants to be happy and make others happy. So the purpose of life is clearly visible, and it is same as mine. And the program is to live with right understanding in all the 4 levels. That is the program he wants to That is the program he has to do, and that is also the same program which I have to follow. So at the level of purpose we are same, the level of program we are same, and the potential to live with right understanding in all the four levels, level of human being, at the level of family, at the level of society, at the level of entire existence, nature, the potential is there for everyone. So we have to evaluate only the competence. If the other person is having a lot of competence and he is having more knowledge than me as far as this is concerned, I will learn from the other person. If the other person's competence is less, maybe I will try to help him. So only we have to evaluate the competence. But we are not evaluating on the basis of competence. We are evaluating on the basis of caste, money, position, physical appearance, age, gender, so many things. Do you like if someone evaluates on the basis of your caste, your money, your position? Do you like such things? Do you like if someone differentiates you on the basis of your color, skin color, or your age or your position? What do you think? No, we don't like it, right? And even we don't want to do the same thing. Sometimes because of preconditioning, sometimes because of influence of the society, we might do it. But as far as our natural acceptance is concerned, with right understanding, we would never want to do that. So we always want to evaluate the person on the basis of his or herself. So now, if you have the trust on the person, other person, and also you evaluate the person in a right way, you understand the competence of the other person, then you feel that the other person is related to you. So now we will explore other feelings, other 7 feelings. We will try to cover 3 feelings today. One is affection, we call it sneham, sneha. Then care is mamta. Then guidance is vatsalya. So we will try to cover these 3 feelings today, and tomorrow reverence, glory, gratitude, love, all these things will be covered. So let us come to the third feeling, sneha or affection. So affection is a feeling of being related to the other person. The other person is your own relative. The other person is like me, he is related to me. दूसरे को संबंधी के रूप में स्वीकारने का भाव जो है वो affection है. And when you have trust and also you have respect, when you know that the other person's intention is always good, then there is no virodh bhav. Nirvirodhita is there. So for example, if you have your own child and he is committing mistakes continuously, and he's a small kid, you know that he's not committing mistakes because he wants to hurt you or he's doing it intentionally or something like that. Because his ability is less, because his competence is less, he is doing. So what will you do? You will try to explain in various ways so that he will understand and he will never commit the mistake again. You will try to make him grow, learn. That you will do when you feel that relationship with the other person. So one naturally feels related to the other when one has the feelings of trust and respect in oneself for the other. So you have trust in the other person. You know that the other person's intention is right. And you also evaluated the other person in the right way. You know the competence of the other person. Yesterday, Shiva was telling in the question and answer session. So you know where the person is starting, so that you can guide the other person in a right way. If you don't know the other person's position, if you are unaware about the other person's competence, you might get hurt. But if you have proper understanding about the other person's competence, you have evaluated the other person in a right way, and you have trust, then you will feel that the other person is related to you. He is mine, ye mera hai. That feeling is there. That is called affection. So when you have that feeling, there is a responsibility and commitment for mutual fulfillment in relationship. So you want to be happy, you want the other person also to be happy. Sometimes what we do is we pamper the other person. Even if the person is not going in the right direction, just you want to make him happy, you compromise with so many values, you compromise with so many principles. You show agreement with their wrong preconditioning. And you provide only physical facilities. You provide only favorable sensations. They want food, you give food. They want, some comfort, some mobile phone, car and whatever they want, you are giving, and you are trying to make them happy. But still, you know that you are not giving them the right understanding. That is not affection. So affection is once you feel that the other person is related to you, you try to be happy and make the other person happy in every way possible, and you try to ensure continuous happiness in the other person. That is affection. That feeling of being related to the other person, feeling that he is mine, that is affection. And when there is no affection, there can be opposition and jealousy. See, I don't feel jealous when my own kid gets a first rank or wins a medal or something like that. So because I feel that the person is mine, related to me. But if you don't have that feeling with other people in your family or in your office or anywhere, then you might feel opposition, then you might feel jealousy. But when you have that feeling with everyone is related to me, then there is no question of feeling opposition or jealousy. And you accept the person as the person is. Like, for example, see, you look at this beautiful scenery. There is this rainbow, wonderful green patches, and this tree and clouds and blue sky. And when you look at this nature, you just look at with yourself and you feel happy. And you will not say, see, the blue should be much lighter blue, and this green can be much thicker green, and this red is so glaring, it can be yellow, or the rainbow is not so dark, it can be much darker. Will you say all these things? No. In nature, whatever is there, you will just accept it. But when it comes to people, we always fall into this if and then trap. If this person does this, then I will be happy, then I will feel related, then I will, then only he's like doing properly, then only I will feel happy. If and then trap is always there. So let us not fall into this if and then trap. Let us try to accept the person as he is. Because at so many levels, there are so many differences between us, and we may not understand also. Someone is raising their hands. I will take the question, sir. So we may not understand. We might, once we understand the other person is having the same purpose, same program, same potential, and only the competence is different. And the competence is different because of various reasons. I'll tell you few reasons where there can be difference between you and the other person, not at the level of purpose, not at the level of program, not at the level of potential, but there are so many other factors which might make you feel that the other person's intentions are wrong, or the other person is completely different from me. For example, we have biochemical individuality. For example, my sugar levels are like 90 is my normal. If it goes to 120 or 130 also, it is like problematic for me. But for some other person, 140 is normal for him. If it comes to 90, it is drastic. So biochemically, we are different from each other. Physically, we are different. So someone is naturally a bit stout, someone is naturally a bit lean. And you might think that the other person is stout and he's eating very lot of food, and that is the reason why he's stout. He's not maintaining lean physique like yourself. Maybe the other person's innate nature, physical constitution itself is stout. Or someone is we have, you can say, if you take our fingerprint, so like it's unique. In the same way, your body is also unique. Physically, you are completely unique. Physiologically, you are unique. For example, someone's hunger is very high, always high. For some people, always it is moderate. They can withstand a lot of hunger. When they look at other people who can't withstand the hunger, they think that this person's behavior is wrong. No, they are basically physiologically different. Some people, sometimes their hunger is too high and sometimes their hunger is too less. That doesn't mean that then the other person says, hey, yesterday the same time you asked me for food and you were making me run, but now today you say I have prepared the food in time. You are saying you are not feeling hunger. Maybe his physiological constitution is making his hunger in a different way. So you need to understand the other person is different because of some personality traits, because of some physical differences in the constitution. Emotionally also, sometimes we are different. For example, if in a given condition, for example, I'm going to an airport and with me, two more people are there in the car and we got stuck in traffic. And I'm getting irritated. I'm getting anger. I want to shout at the traffic. I want to pick a quarrel with the person who is just relaxing on the other side. He's not, I just get irritated because I am worried about missing the flight. And the person sitting next to me, he's also worried, but he's becoming tense. He's blabbering, he's telling something, he's telling us 100 different ideas. Maybe we should get down and take an auto, go to the other side or something like that. He's worried and thinking so many other things. And another person who is sitting in the same car, he is asking me to switch on the FM. Anyway, we are in this traffic, you just switch on the FM, let us listen to a song. And I get irritated. Hurry, we got stuck in the traffic and we don't want to miss the flight, and he's asking me to switch on the FM. And this guy is giving me his nonsensical ideas. If I don't know that the other person's mental constitution is a bit different from me, he reacts to stress in a different way, I react to stress in a different way, and the other guy reacts to stress in a different way, then I will clearly see that they are also trying to help me in their own way, but they are emotionally different from me. Intellectually also we are different. For example, some people, they grasp things very fast and they forget things very fast. Some people, they take some time to grasp, but they retain it for a longer duration. And some people, they take a long time to grasp and they will never ever forget in their lifetime once they grasp it. For example, my wife is there. So while she was preparing for her psychology exams, post-graduation exams, so I also did my MSc psychology, and I used to help her in exams while she was preparing. So I used to go very fast through the text and I used to tell her, and I used to ask her, you got it? She says, no, I still need more time to remember it. I used to think she's that she's dumb. She can't remember such simple things and she needs more time to remember. Now that after so many years, I completely forgot whatever I read in my psychology, this thing. But even today, she recollects each and everything. She, her patients are different. She's also a doctor. I'm also a doctor. But when a patient comes, old patient comes, 10 years before I met the patient, even I don't even remember his name. My wife remembers his wife's name, his kids' names, and she also tells at that time he was studying in such standard, 8th standard. Now what is he doing? She asks him so nicely, and they are so impressed. So that is her intellectual capability. Mine is different. So we need to understand that we are all different because of many things, not at the level of purpose, not at the level of program, not at the level of potential, but we have so many different traits, we have different constitutions. So once we accept the other person as he is, then we will be able to build upon the relationship. So affection is accepting the other person as he is. Are we able to look the other person as he is, as she is? So that acceptance, once we have that the other person is mine, the other person's intentions are good, and I know the competence of the other person, and if needed, I can help him in a right way. I can help him grow his own competence. So this feeling is called affection, accepting the other person as he is, as she is, with his own shortcomings and background, with strengths and weaknesses. Recognizing that the other person's competence is a result of their exposure, guidance, constitution, repeated practices. So there, when your wife comes from, you get newly married and your wife comes, she is from a completely different environment. Her exposure is different. The guidance she received from her own parents, her own teachers, her own, peer group, it is different. Her constitution is different. Physically, mentally, intellectually, psychologically, biochemically, constitution is different. And the practices she followed in her own life is different. So you need to accept the other person as she is, as he is, and then try to build upon the relationship. We all know that, all the fingers are not same, but we need all the fingers to do something useful with our own hand, right? So initially we need to have the strength to accept the things which you cannot change, and the courage to change the things you can change, and the wisdom to know the difference, what you can change, what you cannot change. So this is something which we need to understand. The feeling of being related to the other person, acceptance of the other as one's relative, the other is like me, is affection. So let me make the mood a bit lighter. I have my uncle, and the uncle has a problem in recollecting things. He's having a memory loss problem, and he can't recollect names, he can't recollect so many things. And he was worried about it, and he joined one memory training institute. He went there, stayed there for 1 month, and he came back. He told me that Sundar, the institution is wonderful. Each and every one of us should attend, not just me because of I have a memory problem, but every one of us should attend this institution. And they teach so many techniques, wonderful techniques to recollect whatever we want to recollect. So I asked him, Uncle, I also want to join that institution. What is the name of that institution? And he said, see, Sundar, the name of the institution is the name of the institution is the name of the wait. I'll try to apply the techniques they taught me. I'm just trying to recollect a flower. A flower. Can you help me recollect the name of this flower? I said, Rose. No. Jasmine. No. Like I told him several names. He said, no. Then I said, Kamal. Yes. Kamal, but another name. I said, Lotus. No. Another name. I said, Padma. Correct. Padma. And he called my aunt. Padmavati. What is the name of my memory institute? So my uncle, he went to the memory training institute, but he couldn't recollect his own wife's name. He forgot the most important part of his life, that is the name of his wife. In the same way, we also forget most important things of our life. And these are these 9 feelings. They are very, very, very important to build a very strong relationship. And as you know, trust and respect and affection, these are very important. If you trust the person's intention and you evaluate the person's competence in a right way, and you accept the other person as your relative, then you will have responsibility towards the body and self of the other person whom you think that they are your relatives. So we have care and guidance. Care is taking responsibility towards the body of the other person, and guidance is taking responsibility towards the self. Catering the needs of the self is guidance, catering the needs of the body is care. So we will look into these things in a deeper way. And of course, we have reverence, glory, gratitude, and love. So we all know that a human being is a coexistence of self and body. So body has certain needs like nurturing, protection, and right utilization. And we need physical facilities, physical things for nurturing the body, protecting the body, and utilizing the body in the right way. And self also has certain needs. Self needs happiness, and happiness comes with the right feelings and right understanding. And now the needs of the self cannot be fulfilled by physical facilities. Needs of the body cannot be fulfilled by these right feelings. They are completely different. We need both of them. And we know that body's needs can be fulfilled by physical facilities, and we don't need them continuously, but right feelings, we need them continuously. There is no doubt about it. I think you all got convinced about this fact. So this care and guidance, Mamta and Vatsalya, when we have a feeling of affection, already we feel that the other person is related to me. Then we have a responsibility and commitment towards the other person. So the feelings, they start, this responsibility and commitment starts reflecting in terms of feeling of care and guidance. Care is taking care of the other person's body and fulfilling the needs of the other person's body, and Vatsalya is guidance. So I'll give you a small example which happened in my guru's life, and later it happened in my life also, the same thing. So I was going to a meeting in Delhi, and I told my parents that I'm going to the meeting, and they asked me to take care of myself. And my wife, when I told her, she asked me when I'm going to come back, and she asked several questions, and I answered her. And my son, he asked me, "Where are you going?" I told him, "Delhi." For what? He was some 6 years old. I told him I'm going for conference. What is conference? There is a large gathering of meeting where we present different ideas. We discuss about many things. He said, "What conference?" It is AICT conference. What is AICT? I told him All India Council for Technical Education. Then he has so many questions. What is council? What is technical? What is education? So many questions. And he has so many questions, and this natural curiosity is there within us. He was 6 years old, but he has so many questions. Every one of us wants to know everything happening around us, from basic things to entire existence, from the universe, laws of universe, everything we want to know. And answering his questions is guiding his self. Actually, it is Vatsalya. But maybe I was not having time. I have to rush to catch the flight, or maybe I don't have answers. Then what I will do, I'll tell him that I will bring some toys from Delhi to you for playing. See, when I tell that, immediately the conversation ends there. Normally, if I answer his questions, try to answer his curiosity, then he will ask more questions. But when I tell him toys, then he will not ask me why you will bring me toys. He will not ask. He'll say, "Okay, it's okay, I'll take toys." And if this happens regularly, every time he wants me to answer his questions, and I simply tell him that I'll bring this and I'll buy you that and I'll do this and do that, we are just replacing Vatsalya with Mamta. We are replacing guidance with care. The person, my child, wants to know everything about existence, but I don't have time, I don't have knowledge. So instead of that, I'll tell him, "I'll give you this, I'll buy you this, I'll buy you that." And after some days, whenever if I tell him that I'm going to Delhi, he will say, "What will you bring from Delhi?" This is what is happening in everyone's house, right? So this care is a feeling of responsibility towards the body of my relative, and guidance is a feeling of responsibility towards the self of my relative. Both are important. Nowadays, care is overflowing. If the person has one chocolate, we are giving a box full of chocolates. But guidance, the time which we spend on guidance is very, very less. So let us take a small poll. So are we spending enough time with our family members, with our kids, with our parents, with our wife, spouse, with our loved ones, to fulfill the responsibility of our responsibility towards their self? Are we giving enough time to their self? Are we giving only more time to fulfill the responsibility of their body, of those people whom we think they are our relatives? Just take this small poll. Girgaru, the poll is visible. So where
Not
is your
yet. I don't
focus?
see it.
You don't see it?
No.
Oh,
Oh,
I can see
okay,
it.
okay. Maybe we both are on different same IDs, so I don't see
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
So wonderful.
We could see it. It's submitted.
Please, 13 people have voted it. Wonderful. Everyone is voting. Wonderful.
We have to go to chat box.
No, not chat box. It's visible on your screen. Poll window. Okay. If you are unable to do it, then you can type it in the chat box. No problem. Great. I'm ending the poll, and I'm showing the results. Results are visible. So if you look at the poll here, where is your focus in relationships? 19 of you, that is 56%, have answered that mostly care and some guidance. And some of you have written only care. And 13 of you have written care and guidance. So focus mostly is there on care and less on guidance. That is what the poll shows. Yeah. Great. So actually, we all want to provide Vatsalya also, but even we don't have the right understanding how to provide this Vatsalya, how to provide this guidance. So let us look into the care part at least. Are we doing the care properly? As I told you, if we want to, if the person, if a kid asks us for a one single chocolate, we are giving them a box full of chocolates. The care part is overflowing, but even the care part, is it happening in a right way? So like when you take good care of their body, like for children, we need to nurture the body, we need to protect the body of the children, right? So mothers, they do a lot of sacrifice. They really don't worry about their own health. They don't sleep properly when the kid is very young. They don't eat until the kids eat, until the family members eat. And they show unconditional love by completely taking good care of the body. We want to make them very, very healthy. We want to give them the best food. We want to give them the best facilities. Not just the mother, even the father, they try to give the best to their body. But the problem is we think the only body is there. We don't identify ourselves with self. So we forget giving time for the self. Even when guests come, we want to give them the best food. We want to make them sit in the best chair. We want to give them best drinks. And if you look at the weddings, what is the focus on weddings? So we focus on serving the best food available, wonderful decoration and everything comfortable, AC and all those things. So completely our focus is on giving care, making the other person's body comfortable. And even with elders also, like we want to give them the best medicines, best facilities. If they have some hearing problem, we will purchase advanced hearing aids, and we give them car, we give them every comfort. And we expect that these comforts will make them happy. This just taking care of their own body is enough. That is what we think. What do you think? This is enough? You can just type in the chat window. For our parents, you give them the best medicines, best comforts, best bed, best TV. Is it enough? Yeah, it is not enough. So they need more. They need time for the self also. They need, no, not just nurturing the body. We need to nurture the self also, right? So for care, we need physical facility. Actually, care is the only feeling out of these 9 feelings where physical facility is needed. And other feelings like trust, respect, guidance, and glory, reverence, love, all these things, you don't need any kind of physical facility. Only the care is a feeling where you have to provide some physical facilities to take care of the other person's body. To fulfill the feeling of care, commitment towards the body of the related person, physical facility is required. So food, water, and other physiochemical things, they nurture the body of the other person. Clothes and shelter, they protect the body of the other person. But when you are providing these physical facilities, what is the feeling behind it? That is very important. See, without that feeling, even if you give the best things, will they be happy? So with feeling, we are, whatever you are doing, when you feel that this is your responsibility, when you are spending time with them, while you are feeding them, while you are working for them, while you are providing some comforts, when you have that feeling that this person is related to me and I am doing this to make the person comfortable, and you have that feeling within you, then whatever you are doing, whatever time you are spending, while whether you are cooking, where you are building something for your child, it is joy, pure bliss when you are spending time with the kid. when you're spending time with your spouse, when you're spending time with your parents. But when you don't have that feeling, then if you are spending time, you feel that it is a pain. So the feeling is very important, even in this care also. Even the care is completely dependent upon the physical facility. When you don't have that right feeling while you are providing the physical facility, then you are not enjoying that moment. And again, coming back to my uncle. See, this uncle always wants to prove that he's not having any memory problem. So one day my aunt sent him to market, and she gave him a list so that he will not forget. And he came back from the market and he started calling Padmavati, Padmavati. See, you look at the list. I have purchased everything you wanted me to purchase, all the vegetables, all the pulses, rice, everything. And I have not forgotten my umbrella. And look at me, look at my hand. I brought the change also. Now, my dear Padmavati, you tell me, what did I forget? Then she told, sir, you brought everything. You have not forgotten anything. But the problem is, this is not your house and I am not Padmavati. I am your neighbor. So again, he forgot the most important part of his life, which is his wife. So let us understand, when you say care, we need to nurture, protect, and right utilize the body. So to survive, not about running properly, to survive, our physical body needs certain things, basic needs for nurturing our body. What are those basic needs for nurturing our body? Can you type in the chat window? What are the basic needs without which we can't survive even for few days? Food, yes. Without which we cannot survive for few days. Water, true, yes. Air, wonderful. Food, water, air. One more thing is there, without which food, water, air, oxygen, yeah. One more thing is there. Yes, Deepali Jain ji, you are right. Another thing is sleep. Food, water, air, and sleep. So, Girigaru.
Yeah, Sundar.
This shows that you are logged in from another device and your polling session is inactive.
Okay. Yeah, I think we are using two different same IDs.
Can you launch the poll?
I can, but I
Just
never
see.
did it actually.
No,
So,
on the
no, I
taskbar,
cannot.
the taskbar there is
No,
polls.
it says you are logged in from another device. Polling
Can
session is
you
inactive.
remove that another this thing?
Or I will make you host.
Yeah.
Okay, then I think
Yeah,
you
make
should
me
be able
host.
to.
Maybe I can launch the polls.
Okay.
I have 4 more polls. Yes, Deepali Jainji says, I am sleep deprived, so I know the value of it. Actually, without food, we can survive for 50 days. Without proper sleep, without absolute no sleep, you can't survive beyond 10 days. This is what scientists say. So these are the 4 basic needs.
Sundar ji, I think I will lose the recording if I make you host.
It's okay.
So.
It's okay. It's okay. No problem. No problem. Without polls also, we can take it from the chat window. No problem. So now we know that air is very important. How much air do we need? Can someone write here, type here? Now that this coronavirus is clearly telling us how much air do we need per each inhalation. Nowadays, we are taking care of many patients who are on ventilators. We ask them regularly how much air he is taking per minute. A few gallons per day? No, definitely no. Now, everyone knows the importance of the quantity of air we need to take inside per minute, per inhalation. How much air exactly do we need? Okay. I will tell you, actually, we need, when we inhale, we take 2.5 liters not 6 to 7 liters per minute, Anubhavji. In one inhalation, we take 2.5 liters, just one inhalation. and we do such 14 to 18 inhalations per minute. Okay, so per inhalation we have the capacity to take 2.5 liters, but we are taking only 0.5 liters of air inside, only 0.5 liters of air. Like if someone gives you 2.5 GB data per day and you will take only 0.5 GB and leave the rest to the service provider. No, but why are we know that inhaling air is very important to keep our cells healthy, but why are we underutilizing, not even using 20% of our capacity? I'll ask you a small question. You can just take your hand, put it on your abdomen and start breathing deeply. Take deep breaths and observe what is happening to your abdomen. Your hand is on your stomach. While you're inhaling, what is happening? Your stomach is going inside or coming outside? While you're inhaling, while you're taking breath inside, stomach is going inside or coming outside? Just observe and type in the chat window. While you're inhaling, stomach is going inside or coming outside? Just observe and type. While you're taking inside, air inside, what is happening? Stomach is going inside or coming outside? I can look at the chat window. Some people are typing inside, some people are typing outside. If we have a poll, exactly we can count 50% people have typed inside and 50% people have typed outside. So you can clearly see that in the chat window, right? So, which means that 50% people are doing in a wrong way. We don't know which one is wrong, right? So see, our abdomen is full of so many organs, and when our lungs, they expand, they double their size. So to accommodate the lungs, which become double when you take complete inhalation, 2.5 liters of air, you have to make room, and there is no room inside. So you need to expand your stomach, expand your chest so that the lungs become double their size. So while you are inhaling, the stomach should come out. But unfortunately, we are doing it in a reverse way. Many of our own participants are doing in a reverse way. So all we have to do is voluntarily put our stomach, hands on our stomach, push them while you are exhaling, and pull them out, pull the abdomen out while you are inhaling. You have to voluntarily do it. The point here is we need air to nurture and protect our body, but we don't know how to utilize the lung capacity. And now when there is coronavirus, our bodies are not equipped with that strength and knowledge of breathing properly, and many people are facing difficulties. They are dying because they don't know how to utilize their lung capacity. So are we having this knowledge of utilizing our own body in a right way? Are we providing our loved ones that care how to utilize their own body in a right way? Similarly, when it comes to someone has written belly breathing. It's not just belly breathing. You have to take deeper breaths, not just shallow breathing. Take deep breaths, breathe through your nose and not through your mouth, and breathe in a rhythmatic way. All you have to do is observe your breath at regular moments. So we teach all these things when we conduct this holistic human health workshop, but I'm just giving you a small glimpse of what is actually meant to be taking good care of the other person's body. It's not just giving them gifts. It's not just flooding them with food and other things. Are we giving them the right things in the right way, with right knowledge, right understanding? So water, how much water do we need? When to take, when not to take, what type of water? We need to understand how much food, how to take, when to take, what to take, what not to take. Types of foods, there are so many types of foods, and some foods are incompatible with our own body's constitution. Do we know what are incompatible with our own body constitution? Do we know which food is not compatible with your loved ones, with your kids, with your parents, with your spouse? Do you have an understanding about the incompatibility? And do you know that there are so many food items, when mixed together, they are incompatible with each other, like milk and fruits, hot water and honey, cooked food and uncooked food, too hot food and too cold food. When you put them together, they are incompatible with each other and they cause so many troubles. And there are so many wrong ways of cooking. We use wrong vessels, wrong procedures to cook. So do we know all these things to give enough care? Can we take good care of the loved ones? That happens only if we have right understanding. In the same way, what is good sleep, how much sleep, when to sleep, how to sleep, all these things. And nowadays, everyone wants to be healthy, and everyone wants to increase their own immunity, protect themselves from bacteria and viruses, and they want to do something to become healthy. And there is so much of information available online in social media, WhatsApp, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere. But this information is in bits and pieces in the form of health tips, do's and don'ts. You do this, you don't do this, rules and regulations. And these things are not giving us enough knowledge. And sometimes following these tips are becoming dangerous also. We don't need such half-baked tips. We need proper understanding of our own body, our own health. And it should be a part of this educational system. And that will help us take good care of our own body, because we are responsible towards our own body, and also take good care of the bodies of our loved ones. Further, as a part of this universal human values, which is already a part of the curriculum of 15,000 engineering colleges and some 50 universities in India and 8 other countries abroad. This universal human values is a part of it. We have started this course called Holistic Human Health, where we give you universal health principles. Once you understand the principles, you can design your own health routine and you can take good care of your own body. So this yellow part is the understanding part, and the blue part is the application part. And I will only tell you a small part for 2 minutes, and so that you will understand what we do in this Holistic Human Health course. This is again a 8 days workshop which we have conducted many times, and for all you participants, whenever we conduct the next workshop, we will inform you. But when you look at this application part, there is one part is keeping the body and mind in harmony. The other part is returning back to harmony whenever there is a disturbance. And in the keeping the body and self in harmony, there is nurturing part and protecting part. And in this nurturing part, there is intake, routine, labor, exercise, asana, pranayam, meditation, all. And if you take this intake part, again, you have already answered, we need food, we need water, we need air, we need sleep, we need sunlight. So when you go to the intake part, when you go to the food part, we need to understand the quality of food. What kind of food will give maximum nourishment to the body? How much food do we need, quantity, and how to prepare, sanskar or preparation, and how to consume. And in the quality part also, we need to find the most nutritious food available. And just nutrition is not enough. You need the food should be easily digestible for our own body. If it is not getting digested properly, the best food also will not do any help. And the food should get easily excreted from the body. Otherwise, if it remains, it produces so many toxins, and these toxins can produce diseases. So it should have enough fiber to easily get cleansed from the body. We should drink enough water, and the food should be compatible with our own body. A glass of orange juice might give a lot of strength to me, but the same glass of orange juice can trigger acid reflux in another person. So that food should be compatible with my own body, and two food items which I mix together should be compatible with each other. We need to understand that we have the knowledge. So I don't go into the details, but when you want to feed your kids, you have to give nutritious food. The food should be freshly cooked food. It should not be moderately cooked, not too much fried or too much kept in oil and all. And it should be fiber rich. All the fruits, all the vegetables should be ingredients of our food. Get all the grains, not just rice and wheat. Get all the grains. Each grain has its own nutrient content. You have to take all these food items which are naturally grown in your own place, all the pulses, all the fruits, all the vegetables, and particularly those food items which are grown without putting pesticides. Because see, when a farmer is growing vegetables, and if he has a feeling that I am related to the person who is eating this food, then he will never put harmful chemicals in that vegetables. If he's growing for nowadays, so many farmers I know, they do chemical farming, but for their own kids, for their own family, they purely produce organic food for their own, because they don't have that feeling of relationship with the other person who is consuming the food. But when you start building relationship with the farmer, when you have a good relationship, when you speak with them regularly, when you connect, when you go and meet, then you ask them that I want food which is having no pesticides, no, they are living just in the outskirts of your city. Go and connect with them. Then he will never give you the food which is prepared by chemical farming. So, and the dairy products, the A2 milk which you drink is very good, but the A1 milk, where the farmer is injecting so many hormones to get more milk, because he is not feeling that relationship with you. If the farmer is having a regular relationship and daily he are going and collecting the milk, he will never give you that poisonous milk. And please remember that we are what we eat. There is a lot to cover in this subject. We will cover when we conduct the holistic human health this thing. Don't eat this processed food, preserved food, deeply fried food, reheated food, too much spicy, too oily, less fiber, eating only one type of cereal, foods with pesticides and chemical fertilizers, or foods with artificial flavor enhancers like the pizza and burger and all these things, even the kurkure, even the sabji masala which you buy from the outside, they contain so many artificial flavor enhancers which will overstimulate your taste buds. And these taste buds, when they get overstimulated, they crave for more and more such similar food. And when you give them the food made at home, they feel like this food is absolutely bland and tasteless. Even the best nutritious tasty food you prepare at home, they will feel, we don't want this, we want to order from Swiggy, we want to order from Zomato, because that is the food which is stimulating them in a that's stimulating the taste buds in an over way, and these chemicals are known to be very, very hazardous to health. So when we tell our kids that this is not healthy, are we able to convey this knowledge properly? Are we able to enable them with enough knowledge that this food is bad, you can't nourish your body with these food items? Of course, as far as the preparation of food is concerned, nowadays we are using so many aluminum vessels, plastic vessels, which are known carcinogens. Can we get rid of all this aluminum, plastic, non-stick cookware and use iron, brass, copper, earthen vessels? Don't use aluminum foils to pack food. Don't use plastic tiffin boxes to pack hot food. Don't keep the food in refrigerators, because when in the summer season, when more and more refrigerators get sold out, the people who manufacture the refrigerators, the people who sell the refrigerators, they are happy, but there is another set of people who are more happy. Do you know who are they? When more and more refrigerators they get sold, who are more happy than the manufacturers and the sellers? So they are actually doctors. They say this is the season when we get more business, because more and more people use more and more refrigerators. Okay, the bigger the refrigerator in your house, the bigger the disease in your body. That is what doctors discuss. And while you're consuming food also, are you consuming with calm and pleasant mind? Are you consuming while you are eating, looking at the mobile phone or looking at the TV or chatting with someone else? Without distractions, when you eat food, you will get the best nourishment. Are you eating in time or eating way over time, very late? It's just about food I try to cover. There are so many things to cover. So this is the entire holistic human health course, which we will start soon. So taking good care of the other person's body needs right understanding from our side, and that understanding has to be passed on to them. And for that, we need guidance. Guidance is taking care of the self, the responsibility towards the self of a relative, the responsibility toward the needs of fulfilling the needs of the self of the person whom you think is your relative. So what can be the responsibility towards the self? So naturally, to help ensure right understanding and right feeling in the self of the other person. When your kids, they understand that, see, this food is right for me, this food is not right for me. This, so much of exposure to TV is good, but more than that is not right. So when you impart that knowledge in them, that is guidance, that is vatsalya. So when we see human being as a coexistence of self and body, then we are responsible for both, not just the body. So the main problem is we are always identifying ourselves with our body. We are also identifying our own, people, our own loved ones as their bodies, and we always want to give more and more to that body, and we forget about the self. So guidance is a feeling of responsibility and commitment for ensuring the right understanding and right feeling in self of my relatives. So when you have that commitment that I will ensure the right understanding. Now you might say that I want to give that right feeling, right understanding, but they are not ready to take. They are not listening to me. They listen to the teacher, they listen to their peer group, they are not listening to me. But this thing needs lots and lots of patience, lots and lots of time, because what you are doing is not a small task. You are molding a person. You are like a Shilpi. You are just making a beautiful idol out of rock. And this needs patience. needs hard work from your side. But if you do it with right feeling, it will not be hard work anymore. It will be a joyful experience. So parents, they guide their children how to eat, how to walk, how to speak, how to go to the school, what to do in the school, taking care of their body. But they can guide only if they have this right understanding. If the parents live in harmony, if they have the right understanding, then child will automatically live in harmony, automatically will take that information from the parents in a right way. The parents have not developed right understanding, child will have a mixed feelings of positive things and negative things, that all are there in a mixed thing, and they get confused. You tell so many things to your kids and yourself as are not following those things, and obviously they get confused. So now let us see, where is our focus, care or guidance or both? See, when you want to your child to be healthy, you think that giving more food is important, so you force feed continuously. They say that I don't want more food, still you don't know. He should know how much food is enough for his body, because continuously we should establish a connection between body and self. Body always communicates with the self that I need this, I don't need this, something is happening inside the body. Continuously body tells to the self. We need to help their loved ones understand the art of communication with their own body. Then they will easily decide how much food is enough for them. We need not force feed them. We need not violate their self. We need not say that I am the parent, you have to listen to me. So generally child naturally has a feeling for body. We need to develop the feeling for self also. So this is very, very important. And guidance is like, I'm just speaking about the child. Do you think that guidance is only for child? This guidance, taking care of the needs of the self, only for their children, or everyone needs guidance? What is your answer? You can just type it in the chat window. Who needs guidance? Only our kids? We have so many loved ones whom we care. Our parents, our spouse, kids, relatives, brother, sister, friends, our employees, our co-workers. If you have a feeling of relationship with the other person, if you feel that the other person is related to you, if you feel that the other person is mine, then it is your responsibility to fulfill the needs of the self of the other person. So guidance is a need of every human being, not just the children in the family. So everyone needs guidance. For example, I told you about giving food to best food and best medicines and best facilities are to our elders. But what about the needs of the self? They need respect, they need affection, and that has to be expressed regularly. You are looking at my parents and my father there, he passed away last month in the month of May. So, but luckily I can say that I have given enough guidance, and I have taken care of needs of my father's self also. He wanted so many things to happen in his life, and I try to fulfill most of his aspirations. And whenever I go somewhere, I tell him that I'm going there, and he always says that when you come back, you tell me each and everything happened there. Whenever I go to Delhi or I go to somewhere else to attend a conference, normally he sleeps by 9:30, 10. But if my flight gets delayed, come by 11 p.m. or 12 p.m. He stays, and immediately after coming, after I get freshened up, he waits till I come and I explain everything. He doesn't want even to wait till the next day. He wants to listen everything. He wants to understand what I did in the other place. If someone has praised me, he wants to feel happy with my achievements. And all he needs is some time. And like, if you take a decision, ask them that I am going to purchase this car, or I am going to purchase this bike, or purchase this physical facility, some mixer grinder, and ask them and take their opinion. Even if they don't agree also, it's okay. Tell them that we have this contradiction, try to convince them. Sit and speak with them. This giving time, enough time for our parents is very, very important, because once now he's gone, my father is gone last month. Now I have enough beautiful memories with him. Whenever I remember him, I remember the wonderful time we have spent together, wonderful time he has spent with my own kids. He daily used to narrate some 3 to 4 stories every day, every single day. So now that job has been taken by my mother. Now she is narrating stories to my kids. So are we giving enough time, or are we just giving only money and medicines, and we're expecting that they'll be happy? That we need to understand. It's not just with elders, parents, with our spouse. You know, just we think that if we give a gift, that will take care of my wife's this thing. And if there is a bigger problem, we give bigger gift. Gifts will not solve the problem. Actually, we need to give time, and we need to understand that small things where we argue, they matter least. Relationship is much important than the small things which you get irritated, or which you don't like about the other person. Once the relationship is strong enough, you will be able to correct them. But correct them is not so easy. First thing is, you need to accept the other person with all their flaws, with all their problems, with all their preconditionings. Once you put relationship on the top, when the relationship is on the top, then everything will fall into place. If you feel that your spouse is not taking good care of their health, if you feel that they have to do some exercise or some yoga or pranayam, or they should change their food or lifestyle, and you take class, see, you forward this YouTube video in WhatsApp, see, look at this video and learn, that will not work. They will ask what you are doing for your own health. So if you want something to be practiced by your kids or your spouse, you do it yourself. You practice it 1,000 times. You show significant improvement in yourself, so that they themselves will get interested in what you're doing. And then try to tell them how to do it, or the importance of it in different ways. And different ways until they understand. Never ever count, I told you 1,000 times, I told you 5 times to do this, but you're not doing. Don't count number of times you're telling it. You try to be creative. When your mind is strong, when you are having so much of right understanding and right feeling inside without any kind of opposition or hatred, then you can be creative. So you have responsibility to your kids, you have responsibility towards your parents, your wife, your brother, sister. So my display is showing your internet connection is unstable. Am I audible? Am I clear?
Yeah, Sundar. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
Yes.
So what is your responsibility? Brother, sister, you type Rakhi and you give gift. Is it enough? Or you have the responsibility to, impart right knowledge to your sister, your brother, your
Sundar, you are breaking now. Yeah, looks like Sundar ji has some problem with connectivity. So let's wait for him to be back. Yeah, I think he will join back.
hello.
Yeah, Sundar garu. Yeah, now
Sorry,
you're back.
I got disconnected. My screen is visible, right?
Yeah.
Okay. which any person can get. And if I manage to bring my parents, my kids, and my brother and my sister and brother-in-law to this thing, all my problems will get solved. This is what I thought. And I forced my parents to come to Hyderabad from Visakhapatnam, and they have attended the session and they felt very good. They felt the session is very good. And I forced my sister and my brother-in-law to come and attend the session. And my forced my kids to sit in the session. At the time, only my daughter was there. So everyone of my family, they have attended the session, and I thought this will solve all the problems. But afterwards, after 1 year, problems were not solved. They were still there. I was like that, and to understand that, see, just attending this session is not enough. We need to implement it. And before forcing our loved ones to attend this session, we need to try to live this thing, live this each and every moment, be with awareness, what's happening in myself. What are the desires, thoughts, and expectations happening in my mind? Where are they coming from? From the preconditioning or from right understanding? If this happens continuously in my mind, and if the transformation happens in me, and if it is visible to the other person, then they will come forward to attend this workshop, and they will then only you will be able to help the other person. So what can you do to your parents, your kids, your brother, sister, your spouse? You can impart the right understanding and help them live in a right way. So like for my kids, I spend a lot of time with my kids. We play a lot physically. We do a lot of games. Even during the lockdown time, we in Telugu we call Tokkudu Billa. That is our favorite game. We regularly play. It's a lot of exercise to the body. And I tell lots and lots of stories to my kids also. In fact, my son has a category of genres. Like he says, today I want a suspense story. Today I want some fighting story. And sometimes he asks for, again it's showing internet connection is unstable. Let me check. Am I audible, Girgaru?
We can hear.
Okay.
Can hear, but sometimes it's breaking. So just
sorry.
a little bit. Yeah.
I don't know. Today some problem is there. I should have tried wired connection, but yeah. So he says, today I want a motivational and comedy story, or today I want a suspense and comedy story. Like that, he asks for different combinations, and we tell them. Even when my daughter was a very small kid, she used to ask me to narrate only the lion and mouse story every day. I used to get bored, but she was not getting bored. So
We can't hear.
Yeah. Let's give a couple of minutes. We'll rejoin, I think.
I'm really sorry. This is continuously troubling me. I'm really sorry. Girigaru?
Yeah, Sundar.
Okay. So this lion and mouse story, I used to tell 15 different types of stories. For example, the lion is there, and she's very fond of pizza, burger, noodles, and all those things, and she became very weak. One day the mouse was playing. The mouse is very strong, and it has accidentally fallen from the tree top to onto the head of the lion, and lion wanted to kill the mouse, but the mouse pleaded the lion to spare his life, and the lion has spared his life. And mouse thanked profusely and told that whenever you need my help, I will definitely help you. But the lion is very arrogant. Why do I need your help? You are such a small creature. And he sent him away. And later, this person wanted to build a factory of junk food in the forest, and the lion he wants to kill the lion. So he made lion is the king of the forest, and lion will not allow the factory, so he wants to kill the lion. He made a net out of noodles, and he has trapped the lion inside it, and the lion is so weak that it is unable to free himself. The two teeth already have fallen because of the junk food. So then he cries for help, and the mouse comes, and mouse eats away, it cuts all the net made out of the noodles. And the lion asks, how are you so strong? And the mouse says, I eat fruits, I eat sweets, I eat fresh vegetables. That is why I'm so strong. My teeth are so strong. So then the mouse and lion together, they go and drive the person who wants to build the junk food factory, and they make a rule that everyone in the forest should not eat junk food. They should eat only the healthy vegetables and all those things. So such stories, when I can say this same lion and mouse story in different ways. Whatever I want to convey, I used to convey through this story. So like that, we spend a lot of time together, and this is quality time. This is actually something which will help in make them understand, initially through stories, but slowly. Now my daughter is big enough to understand what is she also Googles. She's in 8th standard. Still she enjoys all these stories, though she now knows these are all I'm just telling them. Sometimes I keep them as characters, and they say, no, this is my story only, you're telling me. And recently, 3-4 days back, I'll narrate one incident. So my son, he wanted to buy a telescope. He asked me to buy a telescope, and I bought a telescope from Amazon. Every day he used to come to my and ask me to open the app, and he was just checking the delivery date and where the item is, and it was taking a long time for him. And he was always excited to, and the day the telescope arrived, he was so excited. And he opened it and he tried to look at things, but it was a difficult thing to focus, and it was very difficult even for me also. So he got disappointed. So I thought I should buy him something more simple. So I bought him some binoculars and told him, these binoculars, because he is very fond of looking at birds and nature. So he was excited again. Every day he was coming and checking my phone for the delivery date. And suddenly one day the binoculars arrived, and he was again so happy, excited, and he was able to operate the binoculars very easily. And then the whole day he spent on the terrace. Every time he's coming down, taking his sister, showing birds and showing, and he was able to, there is a hill behind our house, and he was able to look at the temple, and inside the temple, the idol also was visible, normally, which was not at all visible. So he was so excited. He asked me to come on the stairs, and I went, I saw, and I enjoyed the time with him. My wife, my mother, everyone was very happy with him. And suddenly in the evening, he announced that I am getting continuous happiness from binoculars. Because we always discuss about self and body. He said, I am getting continuous happiness from binoculars. And you say that you don't get continuous happiness from physical things. He was in a mood of discussion. He wanted to discuss with me. Then I asked him, you were also excited about the telescope, but the telescope has not given you happiness. Why? He said, I was unable to use it. Then I said, see, with the telescope, you were unable to do any productive thing. But the binoculars, you were able to look at some things, you were able to do something useful. That is the reason why you are able to get that happiness. Okay. And in the same way, if just imagine you were alone, no one was there, the whole day you were on the terrace and no one was sharing your happiness. We are not coming upstairs and you were only just looking at it. Then will you get continuous happiness? He said, no. Then again, I asked him, if your sister and you are quarreling about the binoculars, and then will you be happy? He said, no. Again, if I scold you and I tell you to do homework, not to play with binoculars, will you be happy? He said, no. Then I asked him, what is the conclusion? He said, binoculars is not making me happy. That relationship and all of you people and all of us enjoying together is making me happy. That is what the conclusion he made. So all these things, this dialogue, this should happen inside us. This should happen, and this will help us in many ways. This, once you understand that my screen has disappeared, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just a minute. Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, it is visible now.
Okay. So it is very important for us to focus on the self part. And that will take care of the, once we give them enough importance, enough knowledge about the body, then they will automatically, they will take this. See, these both are my kids, my daughter and my son. My daughter is studying 8th standard and son is 4th standard now. So we need to address the specific issues when we are guiding our children. We need to understand that these people, these kids, they should be more responsible. We are worried about they are using mobile, they are using this thing, and they are wasting their time on TV. But there are so many things they can do. They can contribute. For example, they can take care of there are so many items, there are so many works we have at home. Maybe 200 to 300 works are there at home we have to do, and they can share the responsibility. If you involve them, like, my kids are so excited when I ask them to wash the clothes. We have washing machine, but they want to wash the clothes with their own hands. They want to, we have so many instruments, old school instruments where we used to cheki pisne ka, so many things are there which we used to make atta or paste, batter of the thing, all this rubrolo and all those things. We use them regularly, and they are so happy using them. They are so happy contributing to this. My daughter, she is so happy making juices and so many interesting recipes. She looks at YouTube and she tries to replicate that in the kitchen. She is very happy contributing in the kitchen. And my son wants to help her we have a farm where we have some 15 cows, and he's 80 years old now, and he takes all these cows to the nearest hill all by himself with a small stick in his hand, makes them eat the grass and brings them back. So they can do so many things. They are mature enough to do so many things, but we think that during our own young age, we had faced so many difficulties. So now we don't want to face any difficulty. We don't want our kids to face any difficulties. We want to give them all the comforts. Why comforts? Let them understand all the difficulties we have faced. So suddenly, if someone falls sick at home, they should be able to run the whole show in the home. Otherwise, what kids do, if the mother is sick, they will order food from outside. Why? They should be able to get involved in these things. So these are some things which we need to do. So guidance is something which has to be given regularly. It has to be a part of our family. It has to be a part of our this thing. So guidance is to develop clarity and right feelings in the self. What is the goal and what is the priority? Physical facilities, relationships, clarity in life. Which one is important? So we need to give that kind of clarity in life, and we need to make them understand that relationship is very important. Obviously, physical facilities come later, that they will understand once they enjoy that your company, your relationships. Children are very curious. They need to understand their self, not just body. So if you are underestimating and we are labeling children that they don't get anything, then we will not help them develop. And they have the ability, they have the potential. See, like Harigaru says that from 2 years, he started training his kid. In fact, ours is the culture of Abhimanyu. The kids, when they are in the womb itself, they will start learning. because their body might be very young, maybe 1 year, 2 years old, but their self has gone through so many, births, and it has so many sanskars. So if we guide them properly, they will catch things very fast. For that, to guide them in a proper way, we need to be on a higher level with right understanding, right feeling inside us. This is very important from our side. So I will stop with this small chart. So children, while they are 0 to 3 years, they start anukaran. They just imitate us, imitate whatever we do. If we put paste on the brush, they will put paste on the brush. If we do shaving, they also want to do shaving, like that. That is anukaran. Then later in the years, they start anusaran. They follow whatever we say, they will follow. Then later we will try to keep them in discipline. We will say, no, you don't eat basi food, you eat only fresh food, you don't drink this, you don't, we tell them, because they are not in a position to completely understand these things. So we will put them in Anushasan. They are obedient. Maybe they are afraid of us, or maybe they love us, maybe they want to just listen to us. They will be in discipline. But keeping them in discipline is not enough. After a point of time, they become elderly, they come to the teenage thing, then they start questioning everything. So then we should help them self-verify whether what we have taught them is right or wrong. And when after self-verification, they understand that this is right, then this discipline, Anushasan, will turn into self-discipline or Swanushasan. From Anushasan, we should help them go to the stage of Swanushasan, from discipline to self-discipline. So for that, they need to have this right knowledge, right understanding. So with that relationship in mind, from initially whatever we tell, they assume that that is right. But later in the years, they will understand that this is right, this is wrong. So from the assuming thing to the knowing thing, we need to take them, we need to guide them, we need to handhold them. Then the child will become Swatantra. He is not just assuming, he is knowing, he is having this right understanding inside himself. So once he is having this right understanding, he will be following this internally guided discipline. That right understanding is inside him. This natural acceptance, he needs to get that tool too. He should verify everything with the tool called natural acceptance, whether this is naturally acceptable to me or not. Then it will be fulfilling. The life will be fulfilling for the child. If we don't help him understand the things behind this Anushashan, then he or she will go to Avasashan. Avasashan is, indiscipline. So before our eyes, they will be following everything right. But when it comes to when they are individually doing things, they will not follow all these things. And when they go to the hostel and when they go to this thing, then you will see many people get exposed to cold, but only some people get the cold or fever. Why? Some people's immunity is strong, some people's immunity is weak. So we should help our children have strong immunity by giving them the right food and exercise, but we should also give them proper immunity from the social evils. So you look at the people in hostels, some kids, they easily get addicted to smoking, alcohol and all other bad habits, and some kids, they are so strong because they got enough vatsalya from their childhood, from their parents. My father used to write letters every week while I was in my hostel. So once I wanted to shift from hostel to the an individual room, and my father wrote in the letter, see, while you are in the room, you are searching for a maid. So you are a kid of 18 years old. Don't keep a young lady as a maid. Keep an elderly lady as a maid, because you might have problems. So he was discussing so many intimate things regularly. There was no phone, there was no nothing. He was just writing letters regularly and I was replying regularly. So maybe that is the reason why I was never, addicted to so many things, because I am free in, a medical college. There are so many distractions, but because my father was so strongly guiding me in a right way with right feeling, I know that whatever he was doing, whatever he's telling, that is because he wants to make me a better human being. He was continuously guiding me. So that is the reason why I could be in a better position right now. I can just express my gratitude to my father. So the same thing should happen with my child, with your spouse, with your sister, sister, brother, with your even your parents. They need also their needs of the self also should get fulfilled. So please ensure that once you feel the affection towards the other person, which means you are feeling that the other person is related to you, you have trust and you know the competence, then ensure that you give proper care and also guidance. Both mamta and vatsalya are being given. You are spending enough quality time with your family members, with your loved ones, so that the right understanding and right feeling and right living happens in their life also. So this is what I wanted to share with you people. We have only 2 minutes. If I can take 1 or 2 questions.
Happy morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you for your nice session, and especially the parents. You have explained about your parents, whatever they want in their point of view. So I also will be keep on asking them. Even, even though my partner sometimes they disagree with me, but it is it may be namesake or the decision we may take our own decision. So it is very helpful. So psychologically, or they need respect. When they become old, they will be like kids.
Yes.
So we need to treat them like kids only.
Yes.
So thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your excellent session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Niranjanji.
Hi, Sundarji. This is Praveen. Very good
Praveen.
session.
Yeah, hello. Hello,
so
sir.
You made very good points for parents. So just want to check with you. So to have very good parenting skills,
yes,
quality time is good, but we always try to put our thinking or our way of thinking into kids, right? Is it good idea or bad idea? I mean, or we need to give a free pass and say, hey, do whatever you want, but you keep a great watch behind. I mean, what is the right way?
Yeah, there should be a fine balance between both these things. Like, for example, you and your son go to the market and you want to buy a paste, and because you are a elderly person, you want Colgate paste, and he might need a very new one like Pepsodent. What do you think you should buy, Colgate or Pepsodent? Your favorite or your son's favorite? What should you do?
Buy both.
That is what we are doing. Just both. We buy both. We have 2 TVs, 2 mobiles, or that is what we are doing. Actually, we need to have a right understanding of what is good for your own body. Whether paste is good, or is there any other thing which is much better? For example, my whole life, my kids' whole life, we never used any paste. So we know that there are so many harmful chemicals in the paste, which like sodium lauryl sulfate and carrageenan, and there are some 14 to 15 chemicals which are very bad to our health. And it is better to use some tooth powder without any kind of chemicals, some tooth powder or some neem stick or something like that, which is very, very healthy for teeth. So if we have the right understanding, and if we can make the kid also understand that this is so and so, like when he was a kid, he was not liking the taste of the tooth powder, and he was agitating. He wanted the paste, which is more tastier. But now that I have explained him in a right way, because I know the right thing, what is right, what is wrong, and for my daughter, I had to show all the research papers to convince her. My son got convinced easily. Now that they are convinced, they never ask for paste. So it is very important for us to have the right understanding, and then try to impart the right understanding to them also. And for that, we need to be a role model. That is more important. So being a role model is very important.
One final thing, right? I feel that I am not mindful at all. Maybe is it normally due to we are living in virtual reality, looking at things, like spending more time on social media or LinkedIn or Instagram. Is it sometimes going to happen because of that. We're
Yes,
spending
there
so
are
much
so
time to
many.
screen.
Yes, there are so many inputs we receive from whether it is social media or TV, or from the peer group or other things, which always try to precondition us that we are only our body. Most important thing is our body. So in Instagram you have to make your body look very beautiful, and you have to apply so many filters and upload, and many people will like. So this is like continuously we are getting inputs that we are only our body, we are only our body. So it is our responsibility to always be aware of the fact that we are not just our body, we are our body and self in coexistence. Self is not inside the body, it is living along with the body, and it is the responsibility of the self to take good care of the body. So this awareness of what is happening inside the self, the desires, thoughts and expectations, and where are they coming from, whether they are coming from a sensation or whether they are coming from what do we say, preconditioning, or they are coming from right understanding and right with right knowledge, and they are coming from the natural acceptance. I'm doing the filter, keeping the filter called natural acceptance. This awareness has to be maintained continuously. 24 hours we should be aware of what's happening inside us. We should pinch ourselves whenever we drift away from this awareness. Suddenly we go back to this thing, we take off and we forget all those things, and suddenly we feel that we are only our body. So again we should come back, and again we should feel that we are not just our body, self is there, and so many things are happening in the self, and they should happen in a right way with right understanding and right feeling. This is our ultimate aim. And when we are always aware, constantly knowing what's happening inside, and when you are always keeping right feelings inside you, you will be very happy, and you will be doing whatever you are doing, you will be doing in an excellent way with wonderful creativity and lots and lots of energy. You'll never get tired if you are doing it in a right way. So this is very important for us to maintain this awareness.
Hello, sir. Can I ask a question?
Yeah. Sirisha.
Yeah, I'm Kusuma, sir.
Kusuma.
So, yeah.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I'm able to hear.
Okay. So basically, yeah, your class was really very helpful, sir. So you were saying that you have to, I mean, sometimes there are some situations where even we might not be knowing at that point. I mean, when there is a situation with our kid, and at that time we might not be that knowledgeable or that creative for them to make them more understand, at those kind of situations I faced so many. So what would you suggest at those kind of times? What best we can do?
Yeah, see, this learning is a continuous process. Getting this right understanding is a continuous process. And I'm just showing the bright picture of my life with some few examples, but I have committed so many mistakes. I've learned from my mistakes. I did so many blunders in my own relationship with my parents, with my spouse, with my kids. And I'm continuously trying to correct, trying to build more and more awareness in myself, and trying to gain more knowledge about things which are very essential for my own life. Even being a doctor, I had very less information about this pandemic. And after this pandemic came, and after we got affected, then I started learning more and more, and now I am able to help others who are on ventilators also. It's a learning process which we have to do continuously. We need to accept that we have flaws, we commit mistakes, and once we accept that, we don't have that ego that I know everything. We accept, and we accept before our kids also. I so many times tell that I don't know this, let us explore, let us together explore. And they're so happy that their father is not a person who is authoritative figure, he's like a friend to them. So let us be open and explore things, gain more knowledge, take guidance from the people who have already put in efforts from so many years, take the knowledge from them, and be a person with open mind, always open to learn new things and always open to guide your kids. So this happens with content. Let us keep in touch. For example, after this, someone has asked after 8 days what will happen. Regularly we conduct weekly workshops, and not just weekly refresher workshops, not just here in our own this thing. In all the other states, so many other states, they are also conducting regular sessions. We have to keep in touch. This is just an introductory session. So for example, someone is asking what tooth powder you are using. We have a huge session about completely about this health part. We can attend these health sessions also, and not just the introductory session. There is level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5 of this universal human values. So I till now I have attended only level 3. So I have to attend level 4, level 5 also. So you can also be more inquisitive. You can give more time for understanding, because you now know that real knowledge, right understanding, right living is very important. So once you get that thing, then you will always be open to learning. Then obviously your kids will be very, very lucky than other kids, because you are open to knowledge and you're ready to be a role model for them. You will practice and then you show them how to practice. That is what we all should do.
Thank you, sir. But I mean, am I thinking right? Like by the time we learn and by the time we teach, I mean, if they are growing to, I mean, like very
No,
older,
it's,
right?
it's
I mean,
never late. It's never late. Even if we don't have knowledge, we can have that feeling. You can express that feeling with your loved ones, that I accept you unconditionally in whichever way you are. I trust your intention. I know that you don't want to hurt me intentionally. And we evaluate each other in a right way. We respect each other, which means we evaluate each other in a right way. So that feeling, if you can convey continuously with lots and lots and lots of love, shower them with love, shower them with so much love that they will always remember that whatever my mother says, her intention is right. And if she is telling me something wrong, maybe because of her competence she is doing that, but her intention is always right. Make them get that feeling.
understood, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah.
I think we have crossed 10 more minutes, so maybe we can
ask last question, sir.
yeah Niranjan ji.
Yeah. So when dealing with our kids, sometimes authoritative parenting will be good. I came to know that authoritative parenting, even in future, they will get good results. So I will be strict in the sense studies point of view like that. So, but my wife, she will get good credits from her side, but even she also. So I didn't even beat them, but I will just scold. So, but she will score good credits. So, and she will tell that you should be strict, and I will be like that. She keeps on telling like that.
I think
But
your wife is right. One of us should take that position. Like, someone should be the person who will impart discipline. So initially, kids, it doesn't mean that I don't be very strong, very authoritative to my kids. They actually fear me. They also love me. So when my facial expression changes, immediately they understand that, oh, father is angry, we did something wrong. Otherwise, he will always be loving. So I don't show that anger every now and then. Sometimes when I show, they understand that yes, something wrong has been committed. Even if they don't know what is wrong, they will try to change, be receptive. So someone should be authoritative, someone should be more loving. There should be a fine balance between this being authoritative and loving. If the child is not understanding it right now, in future he will definitely understand. See, my father was very, very strict with me when I was a small kid, but now I'm so very much thankful to my father for keeping me. He never allowed me to touch a cool drink. He never allowed me to eat junk food till I was in 10th class. He never allowed me to touch tea, coffee. He was very, very authoritative. But after 10th, when I entered inter, he told me, till now I was very strict, because I felt that these things are wrong for your health. I felt so because these are the reasons. Now it is you to decide whether you want to drink tea or coffee or cold drink or whatever you want to do. You can do. I can't stop you right now. But till now, whatever I did, because this is for your good. He explained me in a so nice way. Now I'm so proud of my father for being. I received nice beatings also from my father, but I'm very proud of him. So it's good to be authoritative, but you should also be expressing your love often, quite often, so that they'll understand that you are unconditionally loving them, irrespective of their behavior, whether they are behaving in a right way or wrong way.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Welcome. So more questions can be answered in the evening session from 7 to 8. Please do attend this session. So thank you so much for being with
Evening,
us.
I will ask 2 more questions, sir.
Yes, yes. We will be very happy to answer your questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Sundarji, for your wonderful affection, care, guidance, not just for children but for everyone. So I'm sure we'll have a lot of questions. So again, we will post something to reflect on in the WhatsApp group. So please do do that self-reflection points and come back with more questions. So yeah, and 7 p.m. today evening we'll have the Q&A session. So thank you so much. See you in the evening.
Thank you.